Alright, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing your daily Walking Dead video for today, leading up to the start for The Walking Dead Season 8. In this one first, we're going to give our thoughts on the Writers Guild of America voting 96% in favor of strike if their conditions are not met. And spoiler warning as usual if you're not caught up for Walking Dead, which is up to the end of Season 7. So I'll put the link in the description. This one was sent through from Kevin Means to comicbook.com. Wanted to hear my thoughts on it. 96% of the Writers Guild in favor of striking or standing firmly on their ground if their conditions are not met. So it says in favor of standing strongly for their requests regarding schedules, payment, and benefits to be fulfilled. So they've made their, they've placed their order, so to speak, and if it's not met, it sounds like they're pretty much 100% going to strike. Which really sucks. So when will we know by? We've got pretty much 1 week, so by next Tuesday, I'll let you guys know on the 2nd if their conditions are met, or if they are in fact going to go on strike, and will affect, I believe, the majority of scripted TV series for the new year, the new season. Not just Walking Dead, but it would affect, you know, pretty much any other TV series, drama that has any kind of writing, really, you know, except for maybe like sports and things like that, which, you know, of course you don't. But even with that, I mean, you have people involved, you have, you know, production people, and so it's going to be a huge thing for a TV series if they do decide to strike, not just Walking Dead, but others as well, too. Like, for example, I'm not sure 100% how it would affect Game of Thrones, which would be going into its last final season, you know, with season 8 next summer. So that would be, you know, terrible if the writer's strike affected the final season of Game of Thrones. And also the usual for Walking Dead, it might have to be pushed back or something. I'll also put a link in the description to our friends at iHeartRadio. David Brody did an interview with Walker Stalkers show with Steven Ogg, where he gave us some insight or some info about the Writers Guild and how it would affect it. Basically, it sounds like they wouldn't be able to change things on the fly, or there'd be some kind of, you know, thing where stipulation where if they did strike, then it would affect The Walking Dead, but it would affect it in a way where they wouldn't be able to write past that date or something like that. So we'll have to see how it all turns out. It really sucks. Hopefully they get what they want and nobody gets hurt, especially the viewers. So but I'll let you guys know by next week if they do 100% or if their, you know, demands are not met and then they end up striking, which is really going to suck if they have to push Walking Dead back, or if it's if the season is worse, being that it's all out war, season 8, than it could have been if they had been able to continue writing or changing things or whatever they need to do on the fly sometimes, because sometimes you have to do that. You don't have a choice. So, man, we'll have to see how it all turns out. I'll let you guys know next week. We'll do the Q&A questions for today. The first one for this one, or the second one, I suppose, after the Writers Guild question, is from Darkstorm, who says, "Hey, Trev, sent this one in before, but had to send it again because I want to hear your thoughts. So I was just thinking, and I wanted to know if you think that Negan and the Saviors will use the rocket launcher that they got from Rick's group during the war. They could do this, and maybe they could use that and the grenades, but do you think they would or even should use that instead?" So that would be really cool to see. We know that they did confiscate the rocket launcher, and Negan looked at it and thought it was pretty cool. We know that the Saviors also took a whole bunch of grenades that Rick and Aaron had found on the boat, and the Scavengers didn't get those back because the Saviors had taken those before they could get to Alexandria. So I think we'll probably see both next season. Should be really exciting to see. I don't know if Negan will be the one using the rocket launcher or somebody else, but it could be really exciting. Also, if Rick and the group was to attack the Sanctuary in episode 100 or something, and then Negan or somebody grabbed the rocket launcher and shot down at them from one of the windows or something, that'd be pretty cool, and then they had to retreat or something. So we'll see. That's a nice call out, though. I think we'll see most of the weapons. Yeah, I think we will, because it's going to be war, so it should be really exciting to see. Tanne says, Trev, I have an idea for how The Walking Dead Season 8 can end. Not saying I want this, just thinking it would be cool. The Whisperers get introduced with the head on the spikes thing, and we see Heath's head on one, and we can see 5 or 6 other heads, but a shadow is covering them, making it hard to make out whose head is on some of the spikes. So that would be really crazy crazy. So you think if they don't bring Heath back, one of the ways we could see him could be like a CG zombified or head on a spike. That's true. Of course, that part of the Whisperer storyline, they do kind of mark their border, but that's not like right away. If they were to bring them in season 8 at the end, I don't think they would do it in a fashion where they would have them killing anybody really from these survivors, except maybe Heath. You know, they could do Heath because then, you know, he would have been gone, and then they could do that. So that would be a pretty exciting way to do it. Or like some people brought up last year, maybe one of the Whisperers wearing Heath's zombified skin as their face cover, which would be really crazy. So either one could work, and they could kind of kill him off screen by doing that, I suppose. And that could also be a way to kind of put in an Easter egg to show us that you know, he is dead, and to also get a pretty sweet introduction for the Whisperers. So great idea. That would be really good. We'll have to see what they decide to do, and if we even see the Whisperers at all in season 8, because we might not. We'll have to see. Thomas Lee says, so Trev, you said near the start of that top 15 episodes that they need something memorable. So I'm just wondering, where is the episode Judge, Jury, and Executioner? And people also asked about Beside the Dying Fire, which is also a really big episode in the series. It's true, man. There's so many episodes. Beside the Dying Fire was in my top 10 before, but you know, there's just been so many new ones, and you know, some of them have been really exciting. So you know, we have to adjust the list accordingly. When we have new episodes, we have to integrate them in. If you guys missed it, did that video yesterday, top 15 best episodes of The Walking Dead ever, or so far, up to the start of season 8. So you can check that out in the channel. We've moved it up to a 15 because again, 10 is not really enough. I would say Beside the Dying Fire is probably close to top 20, or at least 25. Judge, Jury, and Executioner, you know, you've got the death of Dale in that one, and that one does stand out and does have, you know, it is a memorable episode because of the death, and also Carl not telling them about the zombie earlier and how he's kind of sort of responsible in a way. Really, Jeffrey DeMunn, the actor who played Dale, just wanted out of the series, so they killed him off. That's a tricky one. You know, I don't really like the episode that much. I find it to be kind of 100% like just a downer, really sad, and yeah, but you know, it's tricky. Like sometimes some episodes where they're really sad, I feel like they work well. This one, you know, it felt kind of forced because Dale had been alive in the comics so much longer, and I appreciated seeing him in the comics, and having him killed off that early in the show kind of irked me as a comic book fan or a comic book reader. Next one's from Fatty Said, who says, "Hey Trev, your thoughts on this link about the possibility of killing off a main lead character? Is Andrew Lincoln possibly linked to leaving the show soon? I find it hard to believe." So that's from comicbook.com, and I thought it was also from IGN. It's will Rick or Negan die in The Walking Dead season 8? So they kind of make a case that that either one could be killed off. I mean, you know, I find it's very unlikely. I think the probability is so low, you could pretty much say they're probably not going to do it. You know, I wouldn't think they would kill off either one. If I had to pick one, I'd say Negan would be more likely to be killed off than Rick. I really find it hard to believe that Andrew Lincoln would want to leave the show and will be killed off. I mean, you know, he's Rick, and it's just such a huge role for him in his career. I really highly doubt that they would kill Rick off. But you guys can check it out. I'll put the link in the description if you want to see it for them to make the case. But I just, you know, I mean, it's like saying, well, they could kill off anybody, and eventually they probably will kill off Rick. But right now, I highly doubt it. Because it'd be too risky for the show, and it could cause, you know, fans to drop off even more. It could just be, you know, bad for the series. So I don't think they'll do it right now. I really don't. Kick Zur says, "Hey Trev, I love the videos. How come Saul can drop the F-bomb casually in conversation with Kim, but Negan can't use it once? AMC don't know shit about shit." I don't know. The hearing is pretty broken there, man. Well, at least in that manner. Okay, so your question is, why are other shows able to swear but Walking Dead can't? Well, it has to do with the advertisers. It has to do with certain advertisers that they want. You know, their customers are the advertisers, and if they don't get advertisers, it costs them a lot of money. If an advertiser backs out, it costs them a lot of money. So they kind of have to do what the advertisers want them to do. And if it's more family-friendly kind of stuff, or it's too risky to do Negan swearing, and they get paid so much money, then they're just going to go the safe route and decide, let's not put the swearing in because, you know, we want to keep those advertisers there. So also other shows don't necessarily bring in the kind of ratings Walking Dead does, so it's not the same kind of risk. And That's what I would say is why they chose not to do the swearing thing in. They really could have done swearing in Walking Dead, but again, it's like the brutality thing too. They have to appeal to their customer base as well too, which is the advertisers. And if the advertisers are unhappy, if their customers are unhappy, and they stop paying for those ads, then it's going to hurt the network. So they kind of can't do what the advertisers don't want them to. They kind of have to do what the advertisers want them to do. The same as if you have a job and you're serving a customer wants you to do something, you have to try to satisfy the customer as best as you can. Otherwise, you're going to get in trouble. They're going to complain. You guys know how it goes. Megawatt99 says, Trev, what are your thoughts on Danai Gurira being cast on Black Panther coming out next year, and how it may affect her on The Walking Dead? Well, again, there's just so many characters now in The Walking Dead that they can do other projects and it'll be okay. She was Tupac's mom, wasn't she? I think one movie that was out like a year or 2 years ago, or something of the sort. So they take on other roles and they do other things, but they're generally pretty small roles because they've got Walking Dead as well too. So, but they do have enough time to do other stuff. Lenny James is like writing his own show, so he's got his own thing going on as well too because of all the time. They don't like to be off too much. They probably want to be used and to do as well as they can, and they probably get a bit depressed if they're only in like half the episodes of a season. When they're fully committed to a show and they only get half, then they might be upset like Lenny James was with season 7 of The Walking Dead. Next one is, Trev, you should do a video giving your thoughts on the characters' pre-apocalypse jobs. That would be interesting. So, go over everybody's pre-apocalypse jobs. Well, a lot of them we do know. Like, we know Rick was, police officer. Same with Shane. Lori seems to be kind of like, taking care of Carl, stay-at-home mom, as far as I can remember. And, you have like lots of different characters that have different jobs. There's Jim the mechanic. Daryl was kind of just a gopher, just go for whatever, travel around, whatever. Same with Merle. Merle was in the military, right? Abraham was in the military. Sasha was a firefighter, which is cool. Michonne, she was a lawyer in the comics. The TV series version, I don't recall 100% what they said. Morgan, I also don't recall. So yeah, maybe I could do something like that. It's kind of cool to kind of think about what they did prior, Negan and that. And we also don't know. I don't think we know what Dwight did, do we? I forget. Off the top of my head. So I could look into that and maybe put together a video like that. Thanks, Tanne. So I'll think about it. And last one will be from Bart Van Wessenbeck, who says, Trev, got a question for you. Rick was kind of beardless at the end of Season 6, and he got knocked down by beardy Negan. Later in Season 7, Negan shaves, and Rick gets his mojo back and more of his beard back. But now Negan is again growing increasingly long cheek hairs. So this is bad news for Rick. So I think Bart is trying to make a connection between the length of someone's beard and their strength in the zombie apocalypse. So when Rick's beard is strongest, Season 5, he's the most badass. When Rick's beard is less long, he's not so badass. He's more meek or submissive Rick. So the longer your beard, the more dominant you are, I suppose, in the zombie apocalypse. So far, your theory may seem to hold. I have to think of maybe a character that had a sweet beard that was, well, Herschel's beard was pretty wicked, and he certainly wasn't that dominant. So we'll have to poke holes in your theory, but we'll have to see how it goes in Season 8 and how long Negan's beard gets and who wins the first few battles in All Out War. Good stuff. So that'll be it for today's video, guys. If you liked it, please don't forget to thumb it up below. You can also share and favorite, and if you're new and you want to subscribe, you can subscribe at the bottom left. That's it for this one today. I'll see you guys again probably tomorrow for another video. As always, just Trev, and I'm saying peace. Later, guys. See you soon.